Welcome to the fifth and final day of Be a Body Rebel, in which today's topic is breaking all the rules. So I want to offer a little bit of insight into what you've been doing up until now, which is already breaking some rules. The rules being that women should be small, that we should be focused on eating as little as possible, that we should be jealous and compare ourselves to other people. All of those are the rules that society says are appropriate for us. And they're all lies, and they're all bullshit. So a big part of sparking this rebellion in yourself and becoming a body rebel or a body image rebel is acknowledging that loving yourself and accepting yourself, especially as a woman in this society, is already a rebellious act. So if you are gonna try to love yourself and then also just maintain the status quo culturally, you're gonna have a hard time, because there's something about casting off these rules of who you're supposed to be, how you're supposed to look, how you're supposed to show up in the world. That is already rebellious. And so if you're here, if you care about this stuff, there's already a rebellion happening inside you. There's already a spark of a rebel who wants to come out. And so I encourage you, I explicitly invite you to honor that rebel part of you, because that is the part of you who will push you towards self-acceptance, who will push you towards body confidence, who will push you towards self-love. And without that rebel part of you, it's going to be really, really hard. So you can't do this work and then also try to just follow all the rules, because this work inherently breaks a whole bunch of social rules. Recognize that and embrace it. Give your little rebel self a giant ass microphone, or like hand her the steering wheel and let her drive, because she's there and she matters. She is actually going to guide the ship in the right direction. Whereas if you hand the microphone to the good girl inside of you who follows all the rules and does everything right, you're pretty much guaranteed to stay in body negativity, body anxiety, guilt and shame about your body and food and everything forever. And I know this because I work with clients privately and in my group course, Authentic Body Confidence, where I have clients who are in their 60s and still feeling guilty about what they eat, trying to diet, feeling bad about what they're wearing, covering up because they feel ashamed, not doing things they want to do, like go dancing or go to the beach because of body embarrassment. All of this sucks, and you don't just grow out of it. That's why I'm so passionate about being a rebel in this way, is because you don't just grow out of it. You have to fight your way out of it. This is no joke. You can literally spend the rest of your life caring about, thinking about, and obsessing about how you look, how much you weigh, what flaws your body have, and what other people think about you, and how you're being perceived by them, and what you're eating, and how much calories you're burning. You can do this for the rest of your fucking life. And people do. And I work with those people, and they're like, I cannot believe I'm still dealing with this at 60, 65, 70. But people do. So my question to you is, what do you value? How would you feel if on your deathbed, in your late in life moments, you looked back and realized, I spent all of that time trying to be in a smaller body, or trying to be sexier, or trying to be more beautiful, or trying to be thinner, or trying to be leaner, or trying whatever about how you look? Because my guess is, if that was really in alignment with your values, which, listen, it could be, no judgment even. If that's in alignment with your values, you wouldn't be here though. You wouldn't have signed up for this course. So I feel strongly about this because I know that the women that I work with are struggling because they don't actually believe, they don't actually value the thing that they've spent their lifetime doing. And that sucks. That is a terrible place to be. So do you want to die having thought all about how big your pores are or how fat your thighs are? Or do you want completely else to be filled in your brain for the rest of your life? Because if you want to think about how you look, go do it. Love it. Enjoy it, honestly. But my guess is that because you're here, you do not value that. You would be devastated if you got to the end of your life and that's what you had to show for it. So recognize that you already have this rebel in you, and she is trying to get out, and she is basically a representation of what you actually value and who you actually are inside. And all this other shit about wanting to be thin, wanting to be perfect, wanting to be beautiful, wanting to be sexy, that's stuff that has been put on top of you by society and all of its bullshit rules about how you should be. So instead of trying to, feel better, trying to break free from anxiety first before taking bold action, I'm going to turn that around and I'm going to say, take the bold action first. Feeling better in your skin will come. Take the bold action first and be a rebel, and you will feel more comfortable in your body with time. Take the action first. Start this fight externally. Go out and do the things that you actually have been avoiding because you feel like people who look like you can't do that thing. So, in order to spark this rebellion even further and to push you into taking external bold choices to get you moving, because I know that external movement actually changes the internal. Most people will tell you, just love yourself first and then go be confident. And I'm telling you, go do a bunch of shit that's scary and break all the rules and spark a rebellion, and eventually your internal self will catch up. But it doesn't work the other way. If you wait for your internal self first so that you're not uncomfortable about what I'm about to tell you to do, you will be waiting until you die. So I am not kidding around about this rebellion things, you guys. All right, so the practice for today is to name 3 rules based on your body type, shape, or size. That is something that you either can or can't do, meaning like you either have to do or you can't do, or say or be or have because of how you look. So what have you been telling yourself? What subjective stories have you been telling yourself about how people like you can or can't live? What have you been saying? Oh, people with like this kind of body shape can't wear high-waisted or low-waisted pants. People with this kind of body can't wear bikinis. People with this kind of body can't go, jogging or go to the beach or go ask for a promotion or find love or whatever it is. What have you been telling yourself? What rules have you been following based on how you look? Now, you might want to go back and revisit the day on the trigger exploration that you did, because that actually can give you a lot of information about the rules that you're already following. So if these rules seem invisible to you, it's like, oh, well, I have to eat, a certain amount of fiber and I can't eat sugar. Like maybe it's about food, and that would be really useful. Go break those things by like spending a few days without fiber and eating all the sugar and just seeing how that goes. Like that would be a cool rebellion to launch. It might not make you feel great, but it would be a rebellious, bold action to take. It would face your fears and it would spark something. Another one would be if you were triggered by somebody else's body or beauty routine and you're like, I can't believe she does all that. It's so stupid. Go do all that, my friend. Break the rule that you have for yourself that you should not get dressed up. You should not wear that much makeup. You should not wear flashy colors. You should not expose cleavage. You should not, whatever it is. Go do that thing and notice how that feels. And remember that you're not doing it because you're comfortable. You're not doing it because it's fun. You're not doing it because you like it. You're doing it because you're a fucking rebel. And you're refusing to follow the rules that you've been taught you have to follow. So pick 3 things. Make a huge list if you can. Brainstorm a bunch of things that you have been following the rules of. Anything that you've ever used the words I have to or I can't, that it is involved with how you look in any way, those are your rules. So if it's like, oh, I have to wear 2 sports bras because I have these big boobs. Well, actually you don't. That's a story that you made up. That is subjective. I'm not saying that it's going to be comfortable, but go without 2 sports bras and see what happens. Because I promise you that is a made up rule. And if you can show up in the world as a rebellion with like big, juicy boobs bouncing all over as you work out, you might decide ultimately this is not for you and that it's not comfortable. That's totally fine. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you that that will spark some part of your rebellion and push you further in the direction you want to go if you want to be body confident and feel comfortable in your body. Down the line, the insides will catch up with the outside. Start with action. Bold, courageous action now. So do this. Note that vulnerability and discomfort are not reasons not to do something. So if you're like, oh, I can't go without makeup, I would be too uncomfortable. I challenge you to immediately do the thing you just said you can't do, because the phrase I'd be too uncomfortable or that's too scary or that sounds too vulnerable or whatever thing, like that's just information for where you actually need to go and have a rebellion. Whatever you think you can't do or have to do because of how you look is a lie. And I am inviting you, I am explicitly inviting you to join this rebellion, to act on that part of you that you already have inside you. I'm only here asking you to light the spark, not to create something that's not there. You wouldn't be watching this if that wasn't there. You don't value what you actually think about, the food and the thoughts and the stuff. You don't value that as much as you value a rebellion. That's what I am seeing in the clients that I work with. I am seeing everywhere. They're like, I wish I didn't care how much I weighed. It's killing me that I care how much. And I'm like, why? Why not just embrace it? Like, oh, I'm a person who cares about this. And they're like, because that's not what I am inside. Like, there is this thing like itching to come out, this internal value system that wants to be lived fully. And then all of this sticky bullshit sitting on top of it from cultural messages. So honor the thing inside. Honor the beast who's like, this is bullshit. I shouldn't have to count my calories. Honor the rebellion against all of the rules by breaking them boldly, courageously, methodically, breaking them one by one. Take action. Say, hey, I heard that I was supposed to just feel insecure and small and, be cute and pretty, and fuck that. I'm going to take up some space. I'm going to mansplain, or not mansplain, I'm going to manspread. I'm going to take up space in my office chair, and I'm going to talk to people with my shoulders back and my head high, and I'm going to eat ice cream whenever I want it, and I'm going to wear a crop top because screw it, and I'm going to do all these things. I'm going to ask for a raise because I'm worth it. I'm going to tell this person that I like them and ask them out because I want to. Do all of the courageous things that you have been taught are not allowed for someone like you, that you have believed are not accessible because of how you look. And I promise you, the world will change. It will completely change around you and inside of you. And so when we talk about body confidence, a lot of what we're talking about is letting your insides catch up to the life you start building on the outside. It is a rebellious act to like yourself, to love yourself, to accept yourself, to like the skin you live in. And I am inviting you to the rebellion, my friends. So that is it. That is all of my Be a Body Rebel. I hope that this was helpful to you. I'm super excited to get your thoughts. So feel free to hit reply and share how this was for you. And I'll be in touch soon with some information. If you are a person who wants to get some support on this rebellion, my program, my group coaching program, Authentic Body Confidence, is coming up soon, and I'll be talking about that a bit more. So if that's something that you're interested in, awesome. If not, feel free to unsubscribe because that's going to be something that very, very clearly and naturally is the extension of this work. If you want more support, if you want to be in a group, if you want more information, if you want more resources, if you want more in-depth tools and practices, that's where I offer it. So just so that you know, that's coming up. And other than that, thank you for being here, and I can't wait to see what you do with your own rebellion.